you're a first-time parent and you're struggling to know what you should buy for your newborn, which things you'll use and which things you're not going to use, this video is designed to help you. So I'm a recent first-time parent myself. My child is now 4 months old, my little baby girl. And these are the things that I've used every single day since having her at home, and some of the things that I regret buying too. So first on the list, we have this really handy little red light. It's really portable. I have 2 of these. I keep one at my parents' house, one at my house, and I have this on every single night in my bedroom. It's got a few different settings, which is also great. So you can have it on all the time, which is what I use generally. Off or auto, which is like sensor. If you come in front of it, it'll turn on and off. So that's also great if you want to put one in the toilet or in the hallway if you get up, so it's not on constantly. If you don't want to be waking up fully during the night, you just want to be able to see what's going on in your room, these are great because the red light isn't going to wake you up like the usual blue lights will. The second thing I've used every single day is a Playmat, and the one I've got is from the Muse edition, I think. I'll link it below. It's a really nice neutral color, but it's also made of a vegan leather, so unlike the cloth ones, it's not going to soak up and get wet. All the baby spit ups and dribble and all of those things, so you can simply just wipe it down. It's really easy to use and put the baby on that every day for playtime. One thing I really love is a co-sleeper that we bought, even though we didn't have her sleeping in there for that long. Actually, now she's in bed with me. But what I love about the co-sleeper is the one that we have, it has wheels on it. So I could just wheel her around the house with me and know where she was at all times. And if she was napping, of course, you could just wheel her around without waking her up. So that was really great. Definitely you need towels. You cannot have too many towels. I've got like sort of these nappy size ones that you can use as cloth nappies as well. They're really good. I just have them all around the house in every different area, because you never know when you're going to need one. When there's a spit up, you can throw one over your shoulder. You can pop one in the car, pop one in your bag. They're small enough that you can take them with you, but big enough that they actually have some surface area to them. Get towels. I have a really beautiful baby lounger that I got. You might have seen it in some of my yoga videos as well, so it's been great for doing mum and baby yoga together. I particularly like the lounger as well for traveling. We went away for a week with some friends and we just popped it into our car and just took it around the house with us. We were upstairs, downstairs, really easy to maneuver, and just something nice and soft to put your baby on. I'd recommend getting one of the larger ones because they grow so quickly. I know some friends got smaller ones and their babies just grew out of them in weeks. So my 4-month-old, she still now fits in a lounger and still going strong with that one. So that leads me to the next thing, which I really love, the baby bouncer. And it's not particularly for a newborn. I would say the lounger is better for like those really, really early days. But once they start to become more alert and they want to see what's going on, they don't want to be flat on their back. So I really like the bouncer for that. The one I have is the Baby Bjorn one, but I'm sure they're all, similar. These are the ones that the baby also can sort of bounce himself in them. So there's that nice like sensory feedback as well. Next on my list, I have a baby wrap. This one is sort of like you can put it on and then wrap it around you. So I found that was like a little bit easier than having to wrap all the pieces around you. Again, I'll link to it in the notes. They're really, really tiny. You can't put them in the constructed carriers. So the wrap ones are really nice, and it's just so special to have them really close to you, and they're so tiny. It's so beautiful. It's on the list, the Frida nose sucker. I think that's what it's called. If your little one gets a blocked nose, it's quite distressing for them and for you if it means that they can't feed. And I have the Frida one. I also have the Snotty Boss for newborn. I found the Frida was easier and less distressing for both of us. It's also a lot cheaper. So I would have one of those on hand for sure. I haven't had to pump milk, but I do have a hand pump and one of the huckers that collect the milk, and sometimes I will collect a little bit of milk while I'm feeding from the other side, and I just store this in the freezer or in the fridge in case I need to go out for an hour or two. I found it really easy to use, and it collects actually heaps of milk. The hucker, I will say, is a little bit easier because you can like pop it in your bra, the little ladybug shaped one, than using the hand pump, but it doesn't collect quite as much milk, so just depends on what you need. Next thing that I've used every day is a dummy or a pacifier if you're in the US. I know I was a bit worried about using one because I'd heard that there could be nipple confusion, but the pediatrician in the hospital actually said if she's feeding for more than 20 minutes, then she's just doing it for comfort. You're going to get sore nipples, pop a dummy in, and you're good to go. So I took his advice and I've been using them since pretty much day one. And she loves it, so it really does help soothe her sometimes, and for me that's well worth it. As far as dummies go, I really like the glow in the dark ones because you lose them so easily, and at night time they just blend in with the sheets and everything. So a little glow in the dark one I found really good. One thing that I didn't have and I ended up buying was a feeding pillow, and the one that I got in particular I think is awesome. It's called the Breast Friend, or my Breast Friend. It's really sturdy, it's really well constructed. It's kind of like having like a little shelf that comes out from you, so it's not soft, they can't sink in. It's got a strap that goes around it so you can clip it to you and you can walk around with it on. It's really great. I wish that I'd had it in the hospital because it was so awkward for me as a first time mum, not knowing exactly how to breastfeed and trying to figure it out, and I got a lot of back pain because of that. So I wish I'd had that from day one. I would have taken it to the hospital with me. If I have another baby, I'll be taking that with me for sure. As far as clothes go, it's very hot where I live. It's been in the 30s in Celsius, pretty much since we got home from the hospital. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, probably like 100, maybe more. And so we haven't had to worry about dressing her in lots of layers. She's mainly been in like a little singlet or a little like short sleeve singlet onesie. But the full onesies that zip up, the ones with little holes for the arms and legs, I just found like too stressful and too awkward to put her in. Ones that I found that I really liked from Bonds, and they have a zip, but they also have big armholes and big leg holes, so it's not an issue trying to get the legs and arms in there. So they're the ones that I will be buying more of and that I really recommend. But this is one of the little suits actually that I was talking about, these Bonds Wonder suits, that's what they're called. Zip them up, and as you can see, big armholes. Oh, big leg holes. So let's move on now to things that I haven't used or that I kind of regret buying. I thought were going to be really important and I just haven't needed them. First on the list is a big one. This is something that people rave about. They just love them, or they find they didn't work for them, and it's a great expense. So that is the Snoo, the Smart Baby Sleeper. Now, luckily I had some very generous friends who just lent me their one. I did try her in it a few times and it didn't feel right for me. It didn't seem to soothe her that much more than anything else. Actually, the Snoo's just been in the corner and it's been used to put on my clothes. So yeah, I think we'll be packing that one up soon and giving it back. Another thing that other mums actually said to me, oh, you have to get, was a capsule, a car capsule, one that can be taken out of the car, clipped into your pram and put back in the car. I ended up getting one and I've hardly taken it out of the car, maybe a couple of times. I would just use a car seat with a newborn insert if I was going to do it again. Other thing that I was given was an electric breast pump, but I haven't used that at all. Perhaps if I needed to produce more milk, say if I was going back to work and I needed to store a lot more milk, I might, but I haven't used it. Like I said earlier, the Hucker and the hand pump have been really adequate for that. The thing I haven't used a lot, maybe aside from the first couple of weeks, is swaddles and sleep sacks. I stopped using the swaddles really early on just because I intuitively kind of felt that she liked to have her hands up near her mouth. And if I kept her hands free and tried to swaddle her, she would just escape anyway. So it kind of was pointless for me. She didn't seem too disturbed by being startled or anything like that. So, and again, it's been quite warm where we live as well, so I didn't want those extra layers. As well as that, it's just an extra thing to do when you're getting up at night and you've got to feed and you've got to change and you've got to settle and then you swaddle them and then do it all again. It's just one more thing on that list that you don't need. Another thing that I was given and ended up returning to its previous owner was like a baby rocker, electric one. So it was really big and bulky for one thing. I just hated having it in the living room, an extra piece of apparatus for your baby. The rocker, the one that I was lent, it rocked back and forth or side to side. It had different options. The friend that lent it to me said her baby loved it. I didn't find that she loved it particularly. I think she likes the bounce that a lot better than that one. Another thing I haven't used as much as I thought I would is baby wipes. So when you're out and about, baby wipes are great to have on hand. But when I'm at home, she was getting a bit of a rash. And so we started using these like organic makeup wipe sort of things and just putting water on them, because even the natural baby wipes are going to have some, you know, that some of them have fragrances, some of them have like different chemicals in them. Yeah, and it was just a little bit, yeah, they still irritated her a little bit. So I like to use those with just water. The last thing I haven't used, I was really stressed about having a travel mat to change her on. I haven't used that at all. Like towels are sufficient. I've used that in the back of the car a couple of times, so I would say don't stress about getting a change mat. You probably don't need it. That concludes our list of the things that we use every day. I might do another video in the next few months for the next stage of life as she starts to become mobile, which is probably going to happen pretty soon, I think. If you like this video, if you have any comments or the things that you found were really essential for newborns, please leave it in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time.